Okay, today we're going to discuss dyslipidemia as we started. First, we have to, whenever you are deciding that your patient needs statin therapy or not, decision is made on first making your patient into or classifying your patient into different groups. And right now we were talking about first group. First group is one which is having atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. And we really said that every person who's having atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease should be on statin. Statin, which statin and what dosages? Rosuvastatin 20 to 40, rosuvastatin 20 to 40, and atorvastatin 40 to 80 for patients who are having atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. And then we have to follow them as well after usually 6 to 12 weeks, because drugs and metabolism are working so that it takes at least 6 to 12 weeks to have an impact on lipid profile. So you don't have to do tests within a week or 2 weeks or even month. It should be after 6 to 12 weeks. And what you have to look for, whether your patient is achieving targets or not. That's now, for instance, if your patient is not tolerating high dose of statin, like you have started atorva 40 and your patient had pains and aches, and when you have reduced 20, he's well with that. What to do in that situation if your patient is not tolerating higher dose of statin?
Yeah, I think it's my strategy would be continue with whatever maximum dose the patient can tolerate for the good lipid profile, and if he or she cannot go up on one class of statin, so I would add on another class in order to achieve
Which class?
the ezetimibe as the drug of
So
choice.
what you can do, so there are two steps after statin. If your patient isn't tolerating or haven't achieved the targets, and targets are for patient with very high risk, it's less than 55 LDL. Remember that. And for like not very high risk atherosclerotic cardio, less than 70 LDL. Roughly we made a target of less than 70, but nowadays it is considered for high risk patients less than 55 as well. So first you have to achieve this target with your maximum tolerated statins. And if your patient is not tolerating maximum dose of statin or not achieving targets, in both of these situations, what you can do, you can add on ezetimibe with statin. What if after adding ezetimibe, even then your patient don't achieve your targets, then what to do? Bilkul, very good. Then you can add PCSK9. It's expensive medication. It's not very frequently available in right now in our country, but this is also in the guidelines. You can add on. Now this group of patient is easy to treat, because you know that if someone is having atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, you have to give statin. There's no such way of making decision whether he needs or not. Now the other groups, and the other groups are so that one group is familial hypercholesterolemia. Familial hypercholesterolemia is a group of patients which are younger age, but their baseline LDL is greater than 190, which is unusual. So if this is a second group, that it's without any atherosclerotic cardiovascular risk, without other risk factors, but it's a familial dyslipidemia. That means for classifying your patient, you have to have lipid profile. How can you classify without this group of patient can only be classified by means of LDL levels. So this is a group which is having LDL greater than 190. This group again will be treated in the same way as you were treating atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease patient. That is statin,
The
statin high dose, because their baseline LDL is greater than 190. So what you have to give? You have to give statin high dose. And here the target is less than 100 rather than less than 70 LDL. And if you are not achieving, because most of the time these kind of patients have LDL even 600, 700, sometime I have seen even more than 1000. They are very difficult to treat. Even after optimizing maximum dose of statin, adding on ezetimibe, still you are unable to get. And I have seen patients with 18 years of age and going through cabbage. I still remember with those xanthomas and all those things. So these are very difficult patients to treat. Plasmapheresis also have some role, but it's again a transient thing. So this group, if it's very severe kind of dyslipidemia, patient can, and there all of the family should be screened if you are dealing such patients. So one group is whose baseline LDL is greater than 190, also needs treatment, high intensity. One group ho gaya atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, which should be treated with high dose statin, high intensity. Now you have patients who are not having atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease but diabetes. What to do with them?
Yeah, diabetic patients age 40 to 75 has to be given statin. Now we have to classify them into two, like either they need moderate intensity statin or high intensity statin. So for that you need to calculate the 10-year ASCVD risk of those patients. So diabetic patients with 10-year ASCVD risk score of more than 10%, I'm sorry. So you have to put them on high intensity statin. If their risk of 10-year ASCVD is less than 10%, but they're diabetic, age 40 to 75, you have to give them moderate intensity statin.
Yes, very right. So this third group, because if a diabetic is having atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, he is in the group of atherosclerotic cardiovascular. Even a person who's diabetic but his baseline LDL is greater than 190, he is in the group of familial dyslipidemia. But a person who's diabetic but having no atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease or having his LDL not greater than 190, he should be treated according to his risk status, meaning by what kind of other risk factors he is having with him. And if his calculated risk is more than 10%, and somewhere it's written even 20%, but roughly we assess by this risk whether to give moderate intensity or high intensity. Now then, what is moderate intensity statin?
So yeah, this is the dose of statin that decrease the dose of LDL from up to 30 to 50%. So yeah, the moderate intensity statin, wherever you
What is the range of the dose and what drug?
So,
Because we have
yeah.
decided that high intensity
Exactly.
is Atorva 40 to 80 and Rosuva 20 to 40. So in moderate intensity, what drugs you have? Let's take, since we are using very commonly Rosuva and Atorva. So remember just dosages of Rosuva and Atorva in moderate intensity group as well. So what is the dose of Atorva in moderate intensity and what is the dose of Rosuva in moderate intensity statin therapy?
up to 40 milligram is the dose of atorvastatin that is labeled as a moderate intensity statin, and if you want to give Rosuva, that has to be 20 to 40 milligram. And also the target dose should be achieved up to 30 to 50%.
Slight mistake in a way, because Rosuva 20 to 40 is high intensity and Atorva 40 to 80 is high intensity. Moderate intensity of Rosuva is 5 to 20. 5 milligram to 20 milligram is moderate intensity. Similarly, your Atorva 10 to 20 is moderate intensity, because from 40 to 80 it's high intensity. So in diabetics, What you are looking for, you will be giving a diabetic who's low to moderate risk. What you can give, a Torva 10 to 20 or Rosuva 5 to up to 20 means usually 10, because once you enter the 20, it is high intensity. So it's 5 to 10. And again here, this much dose should be given irrespective of cholesterol level. This is again also very important to understand. Right, in atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease patient, you are starting statin without knowing LDL. Because here you are giving statin not for sake of reducing cholesterol. You are giving it for dual benefit, for cholesterol reduction as well as disease modification. It also helps in disease modifying effect, which is called pleiotropic effect. So that's why you're using statin not for cholesterol reduction. But after again 6 to 12 weeks, you should be checking LDL levels to see what targets you are achieving. In diabetics, again, we'll consider around less than 100 obligatory, but it's good to achieve less than 70.
Sir, many doctors ask me, after how many months you will check the profile?
Roughly on starting your first time, you should be checking after 6 to 12 weeks. And I usually check for the first time after 3 months. After 3 months, you will get an idea that what dose is really causing how much reduction of your LDL levels.
When will you check the liver profile and other?
This should be like CPK and GPT previous guideline was there even prior to starting treatment. But latest guidelines are not suggesting they are prior to. But after that, if you think your patient is having some symptoms suggestive of muscle pain in X, get a CPK done. Is having anorexia, nausea, or some symptoms suggestive of liver involvement, you should be checking liver function test. Yeah. But I personally feel in middle to old age patients who are having other comorbidities, it's good to have a pre-check before statin as well. There's no harm in checking for that as well, especially in our circumstances where chronic liver disease is very common, because Hep B, Hep C is very common. So I think baseline LFT should be, because we are doing so much tests on our patients, why not just one LFT before, especially high intensity statin therapy. So I think there's no harm in getting it done. And after 3 months, you don't have to, it's symptom guided. If you found some symptoms suggestive of liver involvement, yes, get. Now the most difficult group is coming.
Less than 40 years.
Less than 40, 20 to 40, that's one group who's having no diabetes, no atherosclerotic cardiovascular, no familial dyslipidemia. Or 40 to 75 years of age, no diabetes, no atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, no familial dyslipidemia. And these patients are a number of time over-treated. Because in these patients, you don't need statin. You have to assess, yes, what to do with these patients.
Yeah, you have to assess the 10-year ASCVD score in these patients. So based on the score, it's a extensive calculator. It requires different parameters on the basis of which it gives you 10 years risk of atherosclerotic vascular disease. So based on that, we categorize them into 4 classes. So low risk, that is if the score is less than 5%, and borderline 5 to 7.5, and the intermediate risk patients, that is 7.5 to up to 20, and more than 20, they are high risk patients. So they're saying in low risk patient, you do not start statin. You tell them lifestyle changes, life modifications. If there is another risk factor, hypertensive, obesity, you address those issues just like in the rest of the population, and always counsel them to have eye on their ACVD risk score almost yearly basis. And then you have the borderline risk score, the borderline group where the score is from 7.5 to 7.5. So in that category, again, you don't have to start the statin straight away. But again, there are other modifiers which needs to be taken into account after discussion with family, with the patient first. And if they're present, like there are high risk features like if they have the metabolic syndrome, family history is significant, and other inflammatory markers like the newly coming markers, high sensitivity markers. So see if they are present, you based on that. And also there's a new thing that's been has made to the guideline is the coronary calcium scoring. So based on that, so if the family is willing and the patient has no financial constraints and is willing to undergo this test, even this borderline risk group, you can order this test. If the score is less than 0, no need to start statin. If 0 to 99, borderline, and more than 99, up to 100, they can be labeled as a significant group to start statin. Again, not high intensity statin, moderate intensity statin can be started. And then there comes the intermediate group patient, that is from 7.5 to 20% of the risk 10-year score. They again don't really need to be started on statin straight away. You have to again categorize them based on the other risk factors, family history, metabolism, and other inflammatory markers, and the calcium coronary scoring system. If they both are everything is in favor of starting statin, you put them on statin. The important group is like the high risk group, that is ACVD score more than 20%. They have to be statin on moderate intensity statin.
Yes, just concluding this for a practical purposes, because this is the group which need a proper assessment before. What commonly we see patients just a cholesterol of 220 statin, and once they have a normal cholesterol, the doctor stops the statin. Bas ab theek ho gaya. First, you have to judge your patient status, as he was discussing, that you have to assess risk of your patient. And what I personally do in these patients, if they have borderline dyslipidemia, I just say, just go ahead and for first 3 months, modify your risk. In a way, weight reduction, diet, and all those things which you can continue for rest of your life. That is again very important when you're advising someone to modify lifestyle. Smoking, because these risk factors are so that if you add on smoking, the risk will be different. And if you minus smoking, risk would be different. And if your patient is willing right from the day one that he's going to quit smoking, then his risk automatically will be reduced after 3 months, and his risk calculator would be different. So just counsel him at that stage that if you can do such things, we can wait for next 3 months and see what happened with your lipid profile after 3 months, and with the status of low risk as compared to today, and then